Okay. Hey, welcome back to Deer Corner. Welcome to the campfire. I got a request from the family. Another story, I believe. I've been hunting many, many years. And funny thing about hunting and fishing, when you end up getting up to my age, which there's a lot of hunters, a lot older than I am, especially my hunting partner. He's 10 years older than me. But I used to do a lot of dove hunting, duck hunting, pheasant hunting, quail hunt, deer hunt, rabbit hunt. And on top of all that, I used to go do a lot of fishing. And here lately, I've been watching a show. Today it got kind of warm for me to be out and about, and we're working on deer stands. And I watch a gentleman, or a couple gentlemen and a nice lady, and called Off the Hook Outdoors. Very, very fun to watch. I enjoy it. They don't cut nothing out. They get a snag. Hey, I got a snag, and they go out and retrieve the snag. They don't cut it out. They show it. Show how it is. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it this afternoon. Sitting on the porch, watching a doe walk by and watching fishing at the same time. You just can't beat it. But hunting here lately, I'm just into deer hunting. I haven't been able to get out and do any fishing, which I'm planning to go down to Santee Cooper and do some catfishing. But boy, I haven't been on the water in a long time. Even though I own a boat, I haven't been on the water. But 1981. I do a lot of travel hunting with a group, and we started this travel hunting in 78 is when we started. In 1978, we figured out that it was cheaper for two of us to go hunting together and split the cost of a motel room and etc. than it was for one. So we started, two of us started it. And we grown to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. And right now there are 8 of us that travel hunted for over 40 years, the same group. But we started out hunting, and we had a 16-foot John boat, and it had deep sides on it. And it was just a perfect boat to go out and hunt ducks out of. And what we did, we took a chicken wire that was 4 foot tall, and we wired on a bunch of corn stalks, and we wrapped it around the boat. And that was our blind. It was a floating blind. And we would get out on the Ohio River and hunt ducks. And we got this boat used. And we had it set up. In the first couple of years, we did pretty good, the two of us. And by then, there were 4 of us in traveling, and we started hunting the Ohio River down by Paducah, Kentucky. We still hunt there today. We get together every year there today and enjoy it. But we were out getting ready, and we were out a good hour before the sun came up. And what the ducks would do, up the river, up the Ohio River, there was a grain elevator that loaded barges. And the grain would, sometimes it would dump you. There was grain all over the banks and in the water, and when they loaded the barges, and the ducks would feed up there. And in the evening, they would fly down to this cove. And the cove may have been 60 feet wide. It's about 60 feet wide, maybe 110 foot deep. And at nighttime, the ducks would fly into that cove because the water was still and they could sleep the night and didn't have to worry about being washed down the river. So we figured this out, and what we would do is get our boat, get it ready, go out and anchor out in the river in the mouth of the cove, and when the ducks would get up and fly out, that was our duck hunting. And it worked out pretty good. Well, here we go. Carl and I we duck hunted 4 or 5 years before this together. We hunted quite a bit. Still do today. But we had another guy that deer hunted a lot, but he never duck hunted. So, okay, he wanted to go duck hunting. So there's 3 of us in a 16-foot John boat, which is we had plenty of room. And we got out, we got anchored, we got the blind up, we got everything situated. And I got in the front of the boat because I was 6'3", and weigh about 190, 200 pounds, and the front of the boat was just right for me. My legs could stretch out, and I got in the front of the boat, and Carl was in the middle, and Tim was in the back of the boat. And the sun wasn't coming up yet. It was before sunup. And then pretty soon Carl sat there and says, "Damn, what is it?" He says, "Look at this." So I shine the light over there, and there's a stream of water shooting up. And there's 3 adults in the boat plus all of our gear in this boat. And this stream of water was going a good 3 foot in the air. Look, oh, it was a pretty good stream of water shooting up. And we went around and around and around. We finally found a pencil and stuck it in the hole. By then there was about, an inch and a half of water in the boat. Now what happened is them John boats are riveted together. And that boat, when we got it, but even us, we drug it in and out of the water so much, it wore the bottom of a rivet off, and the rivet popped up. And a stream of water come up. But we're all right. We had our boots on, and everything's fine. And we're sitting there, had a pencil stuck in the hole. So pretty soon, I'm sitting there and we're just talking and carrying on, and OT back in the back seat, you just hear him go, "Damn!" and shine the light again, and it wasn't a minute. The water started coming over the back seat of the boat into the middle compartment. And it started coming in. The boat was sinking. And here we all standing there, 3 adults in a boat. And this is a true story, by the way, I'm telling you. And it didn't take 4 or 5 minutes, that boat was flooded. And after you have a John boat and a styrofoam that's supposed to keep it buoyant from sinking, when you move a motor in and out and gasoline in and out, gasoline will eat styrofoam. So the styrofoam under the seats wasn't exactly up to par. And that boat sunk to about 2 to 3 inches underwater. We're standing in it, standing up in this boat, and it was underwater about 2 and 3 inches, but it stabilized right there. And we're just sitting there going, "Oh man, what do we do? Are we sinking?" And well, the funny thing about it, we anchored the back of the boat and we anchored the front of the boat. So We were about 2.5, 3 inches underwater. And I reach over to grab the front anchor and I pull it, and when you pull it, the whole front of the boat started going down. So I let go of the anchor, it would come up. Same thing on the back of the boat. So we ended up cutting the ropes that we were anchored. Then we went to drifting. And we're on the river. And everything was floating around in the boat because we had the blind with chicken wire wired on. Nothing could float out. And here we are standing there. Didn't have a clue where we were going to end up. And it was just funny. It was funny. At the time it wasn't, but now it is funny. So we're sitting, and if you moved one way or moved the other, the boat would flip, tilt. And old Mr. T in the back, he never ran a boat or been in a boat. Well, he'd probably been in a boat, but never ran a boat. But he was in the back. Now he was in the back of the boat. And we noticed the handle on that Honda motor was just barely above water. It's an outboard motor. It was an outboard 9.5 Honda motor, I believe. And the handle was just barely above water. And we had to talk him how to start that motor because he's never done it before. So he got the motor started, and we're sitting there now. What? So I tell him to put it in drive and just idle towards the bank. And we're out in the river. We're out in the Ohio River. But once we started moving forward, we finally realized that if I moved slowly to the back, the front end was coming up because of the shape of a john boat. So I got about to the middle bench, and the front end was coming out of the ground, out of the water. And he gave it a little more gas, and we made it to the bank. We got to the bank, we got everything out, we got the gear. And finally pulled the boat up. Got the boat out of the water. And we're wet. We're wet from the waist down. Cold. It was cold. Windy. Anyway. We got the boat pulled out, and out of the plug, the drain plug, water was it was running out like a garden hose. There was no plug in it. And it was like, what the heck happened? Well, Mr. T had this bright idea. Since the rivet popped, we had an inch and a half of water in the boat. He was going to drain the water out of the boat. And what he was thinking, I don't know. We laugh about it today. We were mad, boy, we were mad then, but we laugh about it today. His theory was that was a drain hole for the boat. He would pull the plug and let the water out of the boat. But didn't realize water would come in the boat, and when it came in fast. And he couldn't get the plug back in. So that was a story of a duck hunting episode. And if you did as much hunting as I have, and been around and learning, yeah, I've got a lot more stories than that on what I've done and what happened hunting. And I'm going to watch the fire again burn down. Getting ready to eat. I'm glad you're with me. Go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you again at the next campfire.